Hello, everybody. My name is Jay Apitz, and my partner Ashley is on the Zoom right now. We are a part of Walk On. In 1953, two revolutionary products hit the medical scene: the kidney transplant and the standard silver walker. The kidney transplant has had many different iterations that have made it more effective throughout the years. However, the standard silver walker is celebrating its 70th birthday and hasn't changed at all since 1953. So why is the standard silver walker so pertinent to our history? It's because it's the most prescribed walker. It's covered by Medicare, it's accessible and affordable for most people to use it. As per the CDC, 1 in 4 older adults will fall yearly. And something that Walk On wants to address is this issue.
So the problem, we found that individuals that are 65 and older have 3 main problems with the standard silver walker. One, that they're bent over, and that causes them to be unaware of obstacles around them, which makes them more prone and able to fall. Number 2, that people are think less about, is that they need hand strength. Because their legs are typically weaker, they're putting a lot of the stress on their hands as they're holding on to the walker, and that makes it really hard for an individual to want to use the walker. And we found in our customer discovery that was one of the leading causes to falling, and 2 experts said that shuffling or couch surfing is a huge issue in the elderly, and that could be addressed simply by just changing the hand. So our prototype, we found again in our customer discovery that of 70 people, that there were 5 key concepts that they wanted to address. Mainly the comfortability and the foldability. The standard silver walker is one of the most preferred walkers because they can take and fold the walker with them, and it's really easy to install and adjust. So our prototype, we made a very simple walker that's able to attach in less than 10 seconds with a single hand, which is crazy because our competition takes over 20 minutes. So it was just a great option, and it's affordable and accessible. Leading into our competition, we found that the attachment is not a viable option because of how long it takes for a healthy person to install this walker. And the other walker, the stand-up walker, also isn't an ideal option because it takes just the ability of a standard walker to adjust. It doesn't have the ability to move the arm and adjust things as easily, like height, for example, and it still has the handles, which doesn't address the strength and hand mobility issues as most of our archetype would have arthritis.
It's safe to say the standard silver walker is here to stay. So we tried finding statistics and numbers on our market. However, there aren't a lot of numbers on the standard silver walker. However, we did find one statistic from 1990 that estimated there were about 1.7 million silver standard walkers in circulation. And in 2021, approximately 400,000 standard silver walkers were prescribed. So conservatively, if we wanted to estimate 200,000 walkers being prescribed each year for the past 30 years, we would have 6 million standard silver walkers in circulation. For our business model, we would want to directly target these owners who already have a standard silver walker. And with the 6 million currently in circulation and the estimated $20 production cost and selling it at $50, we would have a $30 profit margin. If we captured 10% of the current 6 million users, we would sell 600,000 units and we would have a profit of $18 million. And that's just in the US alone. So how do we capture this 10%? How we want to start is through infomercials. And the reason why is because a lot of aging people and their children are in front of the TV to get a lot of their information. So we think that we could easily get into this space and sell our product pretty easily. In terms of future partnerships, we want to work with medical device distribution centers and PT and OT offices to get a wider range of audience as well. And also we would want to take on new existing users.
So next steps, we want to develop a prototype, begin to find a manufacturer and distributor to sell our products to a wider audience, as well as get direct sales and partnerships so that we can get our product out to the most amount of people as possible. And then lastly, while the Standard Silver Walker celebrates its 70th birthday, Walk On plans to give it the best gift of all, an upgrade.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Questions?
Have you considered a prototype? So they have those other walkers now that have the seats that fold down. I noticed that they are becoming more and more popular. I think this would be a great supplement to that as well.
Definitely. Through our customer discovery, most people had, like at the nursing homes, they would have two different walkers. One was a roller walker with the seat so that they can get around comfortably throughout the facility. The second one was a standard silver walker because it was more transportable. The biggest issue we found with the walkers that have the seats is that the seat just doesn't stay up, so it's difficult if you're like trying to drive it around, like it'll just kind of fidget around. Someone actually suggested that we should just make like a holder for that, just so that it stays in place, but that's the biggest issue is that like, with the ones that have seats is that it's just difficult to transport it, but that's why we want to make this like more transportable too, just so that we can like hit that market of people who have the two different standard walkers.
Another thing that we kind of learned that was nice is the silver walker is the one that people take with them. So even if they have another walker, this is the walker that they take to the store, to their friend's house, to their appointments. So we needed to wanted to make an attachment for this walker because this is the walker they're using outside the home.
Could you talk about the adoption, how you're planning for the users to actually, make that different for the customer that they're not?
Yeah, of course. So what we want to do is find a manufacturer and distributor and then just work like solidly with them, especially if it was through an infomercial. We want them to be able to call a number, maybe even set up a website or anything too for them to access so that we can like distribute more effectively. Ashley, do you have anything to add?
Janice had a great note that she said earlier today, and that was we're interested in infomercials because it's a great avenue. It's where a lot of elderly adults and their children will spend their time. So we thought that would be a great way to get our product and inform people of our product.
Can you talk about the competition here? So the current companies that are manufacturing already, and if you're working on patents related to the line.
Yeah, definitely. I think we would want to start with a provisional patent because this would be I would call it class 1, or not class 1. It's something, but it's a device that because it's not like invasive in your skin, it won't take as long as like other patents to receive. So the Medline Walker platform attachment is our biggest competition, and that's because it's the one that's most prescribed when like at the doctor's office. However, it takes about 20 plus minutes to install, and that's for trained professionals who know how to do it, not for someone who already struggles with mobility issues in their hands. So that's why we really wanted to hone in on the ease of use for the client using it, or the user.
Our prototype that we made is just to show kind of the mechanism that snap on so that it's super easy and that they can do it with a single hand. Yeah, on this slide. So that's why we think it'd be a lot more beneficial for people with mobility issues and our target audience, because our only competition does take the 20 minutes and people need 2 hands and they have over 8 different knobs to adjust, while this has just one snap on and then a sliding mechanism.
Are there more than one manufacturers of the silver walkers?
Oh, definitely, yes. Like Medline Striker, I'm trying to think of other ones. Ashley, do you know anything in the medical center?
I can't think of any at the top of my head right now.
Standard Silver Walker off of Amazon or anything like that.
Pro was the biggest too, one of the biggest in Cedar Rapids area. And we actually met and did a customer discovery with them. And they were really excited about our product. And So that might be a potential partnership in the future. Those like pharmacies.
Thought about other, like direct to consumer markets, maybe like Amazon or.
We were thinking about that for sure. We just thought that the, like, informing people at first would be a great way to start and get in the market. Because if we started a website or tried to go through Amazon right now, there might be too many like additional costs with that right now, just because we don't have all that much funding. But I think that that's definitely something that we want to think about in the future, to try to like broaden the amount of people that we reach.
So what other organizations or partnerships have you considered distributing through?
Definitely, PT and OT offices, I think would be awesome because that's where people are gonna be prescribed these a lot anyway. But medical device distribution center, we went to the CarePro, they had, it was like one of the coolest CarePro, like, or medical device distribution centers I've ever seen. It was so long, they had so many different devices, I was like, whoa. But I would love to get in there at some point, they were awesome, super helpful, gave us a lot of great feedback.
I know we also discussed with the hospitals. I had an aunt who is one of the people that are in charge of the rural Nebraska like medical association, and she was saying that hospitals ranking and the amount of funding that they get can be affected by the number of falls that occur in their facilities. So their goal is to reduce the number of falls in the hospital as much as possible because they're liable for them. So we think that it would be a great idea to target or to go after some hospitals because they already have the standard silver walker. That's something that they give people, and they know that it's still not the best option out there. So if we were able to get our product in the hospitals, it would help them. They would have a huge financial incentive to get our product.
I was thinking about life care communities and senior retirement centers. I've heard that there's been a lot of consolidation. COVID hit that business hard, and that there are some organizations that are really busy buying up others, so that that consolidation might provide an opportunity to approach them. They probably have similar safety concerns, and it could be a selling point for them to help people get around the community, interact. Thank you.
I think this is a great product. And as someone that, my mother used a walker and had both styles. And when I was on Amazon and had purchased a walker after she fell and broke her hip, I bought like all the extras and gadgets. So I think like having like just access to that, like there was a basket, there were slides so that it didn't scratch the floor. Having an extension, knowing that like there was extra safety, so I think Amazon would be an amazing, because I didn't know what I was doing. They in Walgreens, I don't know what I'm looking at, but they were like, yeah, not good. So they were around the heart. So I think that's great. The rehab facilities that are local as well, that are affiliated with that, or with the local hospital as well. And we also have a young friend that just recently connected with the CEO of Walgreens, and apparently she's completely amazing. So maybe there's a way that we could potentially connect to bigger, because how awesome would it be for, I'm sure she'd love to support a young, business too. So we can see if we can make it happen. Can't make it guarantees, but that would be cool.
With Ashley as a biomedical engineer, I think that's where we kind of want to like go towards the future is definitely with a bunch of different attachments that can be used through the walk-on brand. This was just what we knew that we could get done now and a product that we could have right away. So we wanted to do that. But through our customer discovery as well, we found that I completely forgot where I was going to go with that, but I did have a thought. Maybe it'll come back to me.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for thinking of us and like that potential connection, because like that's huge. And Walgreens is definitely a place that we thought of when we were thinking about selling our product. So I just wanted to say thank you again so much.
Walk on, great presentation. Do you have a timeline in there, or when can we expect roughly for you to be moving forward on this?
Ashley, do you want to take that question?
Yeah, we don't have a timeline right now. And the main reason for that is because I just moved to Nashville about a little over 2 months ago. And I just started a new job where I have a lot of responsibilities. So the number one thing is I have to focus on that first. But with this, we do have a timeline for at least designing a CAD model of the prototype that we want to make. And that should be done the next 2 weeks. And then after that, it's not very hard to produce from the engineering college. So with some funding, we can make a prototype. And then after that, we'll probably go back and check with customers to see if we can get them to validate our new iteration of our device. And then we'll kind of see what goes or what happens after that. That's just kind of a general plan. I know we want to continue. We just need to keep the momentum moving forward.
I've heard a couple people say something about Amazon, right? Well, I helped a couple of my friends in the past. They sold and shipped stuff on Amazon, and they have I don't know how much you know about Amazon, but they have a program called FBA, Fulfilled by Amazon. And what it does, it takes literally all of the warehousing and distribution. It takes care of all of that for you. So if you were to set up a distributor, you could set up to where that distributor ships it directly to Amazon's warehouses, and all you have to do is literally post it on Amazon. When it sells, Amazon ships it for you.
Do you know what how much Amazon makes of that process?
So you pay a monthly fee, and I think it's not very big,
Okay.
especially for what you're doing. I think it's something that you should look into, because you would not have to worry about any of the logistics, instead of just dealing with the warehouse and shipping.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. just-
Great, thank you so much.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have just one curiosity.
Yeah.
With the use of this locker, what falls are avoided? What percentage of falls are avoided, and what's the cost? The avoided cost.
I do not have the cost off the top of my head, but I can tell you, like, what we're avoiding right now. A lot of people will be leaning over the walker and their posture is improving, their posture is getting worse. So they're slowly losing strength throughout their entire body if they're not sitting up, like standing upright. So that's the biggest concern that we have with falls, is that their strength is just losing a lot when you don't have a walker that's personalized to your individual needs.
So there's no stats that you say, okay, 50% or 40% of people avoid falling.
With our device right now,
Yeah, in general, with the locker.
I'm sure that we could look at the Medline platform walker and see if they have any stats on that, but right now we just have a prototype, so we haven't been able to test it at all. But when we do have that information, I think that would be so valuable to include in this presentation, for sure.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the seat.
We're talking about the what?
Just sit down like a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think over there you should look into it, because it doesn't have to be rigid, but it can be, for example, there are new materials like cloth or even strings that can, when you fold it, it just folds directly. You don't have to, and that's interesting, because the older person can, it can sit. You're not going to use it as a seat.
Yeah.
To stay there for 3 hours, but just to rest for a couple minutes, 5 minutes, and that's something.
And then it's a lot more easily transportable too. I really like that idea. Thank you.
So I looked that up for you. It's
Yeah.
$40 a month, and it's, they take, depending on the category of your product, between 6 and 20%.
Oh, okay. Super good to know. I'd love to talk with you after. I love to talk with both of you after.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, then I'll ask the final question. What as a community can we do for you?
I think, well, I mean, the feedback that we just got was amazing, and the willingness to help, that was just incredible. So I would love to talk with you after. I would love to talk with you after. Ashley, do you have anything that the community can do for us?
I think just to continue to provide us support and guidance as we continue to move forward. I appreciate everyone's insight and like random information on Amazon, on Walgreens. I know David MK had great ideas on prototyping. So just continuing to allow us to grow and learn would be a great way to help us moving forward. Thank you guys so much.
Really?